Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. There has been a long history of bad takes by film critics, and today we're on Vulture, which is no stranger to bad takes on things given they are a garbage tier website, but anxiously anticipating going to watch the Mario Brothers movie tomorrow night. We're going to do a live review this Saturday. Myself, Tony, Vinny, and others will be on hand 9:15 for Super Mario's main event Saturday. I won't let wet blankets like Allison Wilmore dampen my enthusiasm for this movie. We're still pretty bad at making video game movies, huh? Speaking of bad takes, before we get into the article, I'll have another video coming out on Grace Randolph's less than stellar take on the movie, and it's not that she didn't like it, it's that she knows nothing about the source material.
That's just a car.
Back in 2005, when shrugs were on trend and The Rock was still willing to play a villain, Universal released an adaptation of the first-person shooter Doom that had been in the works for a decade. It promptly bombed at the box office, mostly because it was, like so many other movies based on video games, terrible. The video game franchise is famously heavy on carnage and light on narrative, but the movie had a cumbersome plot involving an ancient Martian civilization and genetic experimentation. And yet, during its climax, Doom did something magnificent. It shifted to the point of view of its hero, played by the unembarrassable Carl Urban, as his character glided through a labyrinth of industrial hallways, blasting infected attackers with a weapon that he held up in the frame, exactly like the game. The audience howled with laughter on account of it looking goofy as hell. But that dumb scene in that dumb movie got at why the gap between the two mediums can feel unbridgeable. Because the core experiential aspect of one, gameplay, isn't something that can readily be replicated in the other. It's tough to adapt something while leaving its essence behind. Say what you will about Doom, which may be nothing, it isn't an underappreciated classic, but at least it made a bold choice. The Super Mario Brothers movie, an almost impressively generic kiddie movie reskinned with characters and concepts from one of the most famous video game franchises in the world, might as well been assembled by a focus group. A movie like this doesn't need to have a personality when it's familiar, filled with bright colors, frenetic action, and most importantly, the only children's fare to arrive in theaters in weeks. The Super Mario Brothers movie only shows the slightest spark of life when it tries to evoke what it's like to actually play one of the titles it's inspired by, something that looks a lot less jarring in animation than it does in live action. Not because those few moments are fan service, but because that's when the movie has a sense of purpose. There's some cute side-scrolling action in which Mario and his brother Luigi navigate a construction site and tag out at a flagpole next to a conveniently castle-themed fast food restaurant on the other side. There are two kart racing sequences, one consisting of a chaotic dash along the wooden tracks running through a jungle, and the other, a junior Fury Road skirmish high above the ocean on multicolored beams of light that loop vertiginously through the sky. And I believe Allison is referring to Rainbow Road in Mario Kart. That's Rainbow Road, Allison. Then there's the buoyant scene where Mario, having gone through various pratfall-laden lessons in using power-ups, finally bounds and flies his way through the Mushroom Kingdom landscape to save the day. Of course, Mario has to save the day because the Super Mario Brothers movie has 92 minutes to fill, and these gameplay bits only take up a fraction of that. A movie needs to be about something, I guess, or at least it can't be an hour and a half of Mario and company zipping across Rainbow Road with various minions in pursuit. But this particular movie does such a desultory job of assembling its iconography into something resembling a story that it's borderline insulting. Mario, who's introduced living at home and struggling to get the nascent plumbing business he started with Luigi off the ground, is an underdog because, I don't know, his dad isn't supportive enough, or he's short or something. Luigi is hastily designated a coward, though he has no qualms about throwing everything into a local commercial in which his siblings are accented superheroes. Having read through all that, I'm picking up a very condescending tone that is thinly veiled through her use of verbiage and her attempts to articulate sentences where they don't need to be overly articulated to make her sound smarter than the source material that she's covering. You see, that's exactly what she's doing. She's She's talking down about the movie to her audience, knowing that she writes for a hive mind. There's really no dissenting opinions in the Vulture audience. If you are a avid Vulture follower, you are of a certain mindset already, and probably nodding in agreement like a good NPC with this weirdo. So she's basically just downplaying any enjoyment you may have for this movie right off the bat. That's what she's doing. Making it out to be there's no reason for this movie to be in existence when this movie's going to out-earn probably the last 2 or 3 Marvel movies easily. And this is going to make a lot of people mad because this is going to kickstart a new cinematic universe, the Nintendo cinematic universe. And the funny thing about that is now Nintendo is in direct competition with Disney. You get it? Because you have Super Nintendo World or whatever that is there at Universal, and they have parks now, and they're going to start expanding on that. They're already talking about a Donkey Kong expansion to that. So Disney is going to have to take notice of Nintendo, not only as far as movies go, but also now theme parks.
Who's the asshole?
Why do I make that point while I'm talking about, the writer of the article? And I say that because a lot of these paid shills, which I'm sure Alison Willmore is, want access. They want access to premieres. They want access to this and that. And you don't get that unless you toe the line for a company like Disney. So, ergo, giving Universal and Illumination's Super Mario Brothers movie a bad review is tantamount to, then she'll get her atta girl pat on the head. Yeah, I just assumed her gender. But let's go on and finish out this review. When the brothers get separated and sucked through a mysterious pipe into a magical kingdom filled with mushrooms, turtles, and whatever Shy Guys are, Mario meets Princess Peach, a winsome blonde whose main quality is being so good at everything that it's never clear why she needs to train this stubby newcomer who comes crashing into her life, insisting he needs to rescue his missing brother. Shit. Luigi, meanwhile, ends up in the clutches of the lovesick Koopa King Bowser, who's embarked on a campaign of invasion and destruction in a misguided attempt to woo Peach. Jack Black, who voices the burly villain, generates a few laughs through sheer force of will with a musical interlude, though even that gets a bit stretched thin. Keegan-Michael Key voices the fast-talking Toad, and Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
Fuck that puto!
Though the names in the credits that really matter are the directors Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic, who made the Teen Titans Go series and its subsequent big screen spin-off, but who show not a trace of that subversive wit here. It's all dispiritingly rote, aside from the bursts of weird vitality whenever the film veers into the action out of the games. The act of adaptation is not the problem here. It's that the only movie everyone involved came up with is a bad one.
Shut up, bitch! Shut that shit down! Down! No, shut that shit down!
So there you have it, Alison Willmore, not a fan of Super Mario Brothers, and that's absolutely her right not to be a fan of it. So condescending, and I mean, like I said, it's Vulture. So we already know that this is, they were never going to like this movie anyway. And what I didn't mention throughout the course of going through and recording this was Chris Pratt. Of course they don't like Chris Pratt. These leftoids, these weirdos, they hate Chris Pratt. Going all the way back to when, he got divorced from Anna Faris, I believe. Anna Faris? Divorced from her. He said something on Instagram to his new wife, I believe it's Catherine Schwarzenegger, and about their child. He was happy, healthy, blah, blah, blah. So then people started attacking him for not saying anything good about his other kid with Anna Faris that has a disability. And it's like, well, I wasn't talking. They conflate things, and it's such a stretch. The mental gymnastics these people do to justify their attacks on a man whose opinions are different from theirs, and it stretches back to the church he was involved in, making homophobic remarks or whatever, having homophobic views. And he's even come out and disavowed that and said, that's not what I believe in, though. So I think that these negative reviews, and we can go over to Rotten Tomatoes and take a look at where it stands right now.
Well, we're waiting.
Here you see it right here, folks. 54% critics, 96% audience score. Damn! The audience loves it. The critics are just asshats and hate this movie. Here's a bad review for it right here. Ian Thomas Malone. The Super Mario Brothers movie seems genuinely concerned with putting on an authentic experience for children and their parents alike. The first-rate production values almost redeem the bland, soulless blockbuster. The film is plastered with, here's another negative review, Matt Rodriguez. The film is plastered with references, Easter eggs, and just about everything you can imagine from the game. So much so the story is bare bones, as Mario simply jumps from one colorful screen to the next without a care in the world. Richard Krause, the theatrical experience of watching the Super Mario Brothers movie is essentially like playing the game without the inconvenience of actually having to play the game. It comes with all the charm of an unplugged Game Boy. Here we go, Peter Tabakis, Spectrum Culture. Yeah, Spectrum, I'm sure. The gorgeous visuals perfectly capture the vast video game levels with a sense of grandiosity and awe. The jokes aren't half bad either, but once the film has raced by, the whole spectacle feels empty and safe. IP management at its most careful and bland. John Urbanek, J Movies, whatever. All we need is a legitimate story to flesh out among the colors. Maybe next time. This isn't a movie, it's a checklist of fan expectations. Let's go over and look at some audience scores for this one now. The movie was interesting, told the story of Mario and Luigi. These are verified ratings. The movie is fantastic. The whole family loved it. It was so much fun to see them put in Easter eggs of old Mario games. The characters were so well done. We can see many more Mario movies to come after this. The quality of CGI or animation was AAA, some of the best I've seen. The tone of the movie was perfect for children and families alike. I am sad that Super Mario Brothers were separated for most of the movie, but that was because the relationship between Princess Peach and Mario was being explored more. The number of Easter eggs, deep cuts, nostalgia, and world building was immense. I like it, all right? My kids and I enjoyed the movie. I'm 40, my son is 8, and I introduced him to everything that's Mario, and we truly enjoyed it. It was such an amazing movie. Relive your childhood, says Joey. These are all 4 or 5-star reviews. 3-star, it was an okay, cute kids movie. I mean, these are all, like I said, these are 5 stars. These are all 5 stars. And these are verified users, so you know, you can't question the integrity.
Come on.
Of them, right? That's the way it works, right? You're not supposed to question the integrity of anything, or else you're an insurrectionist. I don't know.
True international effort to pressure.
So to add an addendum to this video, as of right now, the Super Mario Bros. Movie has made $66.4 million, not counting the Thursday box office, which isn't in yet as the time of this release, so we'll have to see, but we're doing a live review of it Saturday night, 9:15 Eastern, Super Mario Brothers Saturday night's main event right here on the channel. Also, don't let people like Grace Randolph, who don't understand how people love this source material, why people love these characters, why people are so invested in this world. She acts like it's a weird thing because she doesn't understand it and yet tries to judge it. Folks, don't let people like that dissuade you from putting your money behind a company and a product that truly appreciates your business. Not only appreciates your business, but wants to give you a product that you and your family can enjoy and that is fun and wholesome. So there you go, folks. Now, back to the video. Hit the bell. You can follow us on Odyssey, like that fire button if you're watching over there. And thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate you, our channel members. If you're watching, you're not subscribed, let today be the day you hit the button. I'm Etep Okuian from The Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
I could do this all.
This doesn't bode well.
You're lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.